Imagine there's no record of you anywhere. No birth certificate, no identification number, no school or government ID. How would you prove you exist? This was the story of a friend of mine who I met when we lived in the same children's home here in Honduras. He was abandoned as a newborn baby and placed in a children's home by authorities who had no idea where he came from or who his parents were. The home made up a name for him, but even so he faced bullying from other students who constantly would tell him that he didn't exist, and the education authorities wouldn't give him a diploma after he finished high school. As he grew older, he started dreaming about his future, but realized that after leaving the children's home, he wouldn't be able to register for university, sign a contract, rent an apartment, or even get medical treatment at a private or public hospital. People like my friend are called invisible citizens, who through no fault of their own are not registered in the government system. Before I left the home, I promised myself that I would one day go back and help my friend and other children in the same situation as him. This year, after finishing my law degree, I moved back into the same children's home with my family temporarily and discovered there were 50 cases of children and young adults who were in the same situation. My husband and I started doing researching and talking to lawyers about this. We learned that the laws for registering invisible citizens were extremely difficult, and registering one single case could take us years. We knew we couldn't do this alone, so we reached out to the Civil Registry of Honduras and asked them to work with us. To our surprise, they agreed. They sent a group of people to the children's home who happened to be devout Christians, and they understood that registering these kids and securing their right to a name and nationality was not only their obligation as government employees, but also as Christians. Part of the difficulty of registering kids and providing them the legal identity was the amount of documentation that we needed. Each case required us to collect a long list of documentation. Several friends of ours and a large donor provided us with funds that allowed us moving around the country, tracing family members and documentation for each case, and taking young adults to medical examination to determine their approximate age. Sometimes our work seemed almost impossible, but when one door closed, another one opened. Last week, we had our first big breakthrough. We were able to deliver 15 birth certificates. This might not seem like much, but for these 15 young adults, it's a concrete proof that they exist, and it's a ticket to receive the same rights as the rest of the citizens of Honduras. I am so very thankful to everyone who has helped so far, but I'm also looking ahead. We have discovered that this is a problem not only in one children's home, but it's an issue across the country. I have called 30 homes, and 14 or 15 of them have at least one case, like my friend. With around 200 homes in Honduras, there are potentially hundreds of kids with the same problem of lack of identification. I want to help them all and keep working with the authorities to make sure these cases do not happen in the first place. Because every child has a right to a name, a nationality, and a future. Every child has a right to exist. Thank you for your interest and support.